In the morning?
In the morning?
There we
Hi, Eileen.
Hi, Eileen.
Hi.
I can hear an echo when I
I
talk.
hear an
Is that
echo when I talk. Is that
Hi.
do you hear?
I'm here.
do you hear an echo?
Okay.
Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
But are you hearing me? Is there an
But
echo?
are you hearing me? Is there an echo?
No, I can hear you fine.
Okay, good. So it's just, okay.
Okay, good.
All
So
right.
it's just, okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing, when I talk, I'm
Yeah,
hearing
I'm
myself.
hearing, when I talk, I'm hearing myself.
It's
But I
good
don't-
here.
Okay, good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and
But I don't
hit mute.
Okay, good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and.
I don't know why. Okay. Well, it's gone now. So was there a better day to do those classes back to back? It would only, well, and I only have Tuesdays and Thursdays, Wednesday morning and Friday morning I teach at Love.
And you do. Yeah. Compared to Thursday.
Okay. Well, I-
So you're from Monday,
yeah,
Tuesday and Wednesday, right?
right, Tuesday and Wednesday into just Tuesday and have the classes be 45 minutes back to back. So I make the intermediate, I was thinking of like calling it like morning wake up, like a morning express or something, and have that be more of an intermediate flow. And then this, and I feel like the yoga and meditation can definitely be condensed into 45 minutes.
So that wouldn't be till the fall?
Right.
Are we only gonna have Monday?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have the ability to contact Stephanie, but I would like to, maybe I have to go through somebody, I don't know, but we no longer have the Saturday yoga either, that Jennifer was doing. And last summer Sue wasn't here. So we could be looking at like Monday being the only yoga for the whole week. That's not enough.
I love that. That's music to my ears.
Thursdays,
She teaches Wednesday morning and Friday morning, and another lady teaches Saturday morning, that's also as good as Nancy.
Yeah, I think Saturday what we had, because it was something towards the end of the week. And can we make it Thursday? In the summer. You mean in the summer? More than 1 year. Ideally.
And when it picks up in the fall as well, we want to have some options and exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can reach out to Stephanie. All right.
Yeah.
We need to-
I'm gonna ask her if we can get at least one more somewhere in the week.
Yeah. And I have some weeks that I'm away this summer, but yeah, but I could, the time I'm here, I could definitely do another class during the week. So let us start the practice on our backs in supported fish pose. So grab your 2 blocks and set one toward the back of your mat on the lowest height, and the other one in front of it about a block width in between. And then when you lay back, that first block should come right in between the shoulder blades, so across the broad strap. And then the other block is for your head. Yeah, it's meant to lift the chest when you lay back on it. And Eileen, if you don't have blocks, you could do this with any sort of bolster that you might have at home, or if you want to give me the thumbs up that you've got, I can't tell if you have blocks or not. Do you have blocks? Oh, good, good, good. So yeah, it's meant to be a little jarring to start. You could also, Leo, maybe flip the back one up higher here. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that looks great. And then if I bring this one down lower, so it's going across the body, yeah. And then let those arms just come out, not shoulder height, but about 20 to 30 degrees away from the body. Good. So y'all feel that gentle lift, right, of the heart space, and maybe a little tingling going across the heart, down through the arms and the fingertips. The legs can either be outstretched, like the three of you have, or Claudia's got the feet on the mat with the knees bent. So either one is fine for this pose. And if you would like to close the eyes or soften the gaze, bring all your awareness to your breath. Start to let yourself settle onto the blocks, the lower half of your body on the mat, on the earth. And then bring awareness to sensations that you're feeling in the body. Notice where your mind is going to, which part of the body is your mind traveling to. And just observe. Oh, my left side is feeling something. My right shoulder is feeling something. And just kind of label it for what it is. No judgment, just an observation. And as those thoughts maybe subside, then returning to focusing on your breath. And scanning the body for any gripping that you might be doing, maybe in the pelvis area. And see if you can release that gripping. Notice if you're holding your shoulders up, if you can invite them to soften and release. So today's theme is open awareness. So really taking that for its literal meaning, being openly aware or being open to awareness, or feeling an open awareness to what's going on. So that might include sounds, external senses, internal. We've got just another minute here, just having a full 5 minutes. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday or Monday's class, inviting in this idea of extending blessings towards someone. So when we're in open heart postures, it's an invitation for compassion. So giving blessings to anyone who comes into your mind. seeing that person surrounded by light. As Sharon Gannon says, compassion is infinite. So you don't have to be stingy with your blessings. Extend them to people you know, loved ones, or maybe someone you just met, or maybe even someone that you passed by at a store recently that caught your eye, but you don't know who that person is. An event like the solar eclipse, at least for me, it just really makes this idea of how interconnected we are compound. To think about thousands of people being in a venue or on the street, or all sharing in the experience of totality in these different locations. And if thoughts could stop and pause for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and everyone just in awe of this natural phenomenon. Meditation's kind of like that, right? We detach from our thoughts, from the whirlings, and we really connect with our true essence. If you have your legs straight, extended out, go ahead and bring the feet to the mat. And then slowly begin to roll off the blocks to your right side. Extend your right arm, so it's just reaching toward the wall, and you can rest your head on there. Just take a few breaths here on your right side. This nourishing fetal position. Slowly begin to roll the chest toward the floor, pressing into the left hand, pressing yourself up with the right hand. Circle your way to a seat facing the front of the room. And having the legs crossed, we'll open just by bringing our hands to our heart center here. So you can set an intention for your practice. We never want to practice with an absent mind. So whatever brought you to your practice today, if it's for some stretching, any parts of the body that are maybe hurting, or if it's another form of suffering that you want to focus on and work on, if something triggered you earlier today, to maybe use your practice to examine that. Whatever comes to your mind, let that be your intention, and let it guide you through your practice today. And let's open with the sound of Om. Take a full inhale. Sigh it out. And Om on the next exhale. Lift the corners of your mouth slightly up, knowing that we're in this beautiful space together. Our energies connected. Flicker the eyes open. On your next inhale, turn the palms up and float your arms overhead. And on your exhale, take a twist to the right, tenting the fingers behind you, the left palm grazing that right knee, helping to move you into the twist with each breath. So 4 more breaths. So starting just with a micro twist, and with each exhale, going a little bit deeper at a time, but being mindful to not constrict your breath too much. So allow the breath to move freely. Try and sit up tall, balancing on your sits bones, feeling your sits bones really rooting you down so that you can lengthen a little bit more. This last round, turn your head a little bit more to look over the right shoulder. The next inhale, we'll float our arms up, come through center, twisting to the left. Again, starting just with a micro twist. Draw the belly in. Sense where your body is. Open your awareness to noticing the sensations in the body. The physical part of this practice is to open our awareness, to notice different parts of the body and how they're in direct relationship with the breath. Notice the sensations, how different it feels when you can use your breath in a pose versus holding your breath. Trying to work toward inhaling and exhaling through the nose only. Turn the head a little bit more to look over that right shoulder. And then inhale the arms up, coming back to center. Bring them down to your knees. Rock onto the tailbone as you drop your chin to your chest, rounding the spine. And then inhale into seated cow. Draw the chest forward and up. Tilt the tailbone. And exhale, tuck it under, rounding the spine, chin to chest. Feel that opening across the upper back. Another time, coming through to seated cow. And then return to neutral. Let's do some stretches for our neck. So keep your chin parallel with the earth and then turn your head to the right. Try to be mindful that you're not letting that left shoulder come forward. That the shoulder stays squared. You're just moving the head. Find that point of resistance. And on your exhale, try and move past it. And then inhale at that point of resistance. On the exhale, try and move past it. One more full inhale. See if you can move past it just a little bit more. And then inhale back through center. We'll take it to the other side. Might notice right away if this side feels tighter or looser. But again, come to that point of resistance. Try not to let that right shoulder come forward, but draw it back. One more full breath in. And move past that point of resistance just a little bit more. And then inhale back to center. And we'll rock forward to tabletop. For those who brought a blanket, if you want to cushion the knees, you're welcome to open up the blanket. My knee's been feeling finicky, so I'm going to open up my blanket. It's nice, if you open it up to this rectangle, and it's a nice height without it interrupting the alignment. And tops of the feet resting on the mat. Draw the belly in to neutralize the spine. And then we'll move through cow and cat. So inhale, rock that pelvis so the tailbone is pointing up to the sky. And we're lengthening through the spine, opening across the heart. And then exhale, rock the pelvis the other direction, tucking it under, chin to chest. Inhale into cow pose. And exhale into cat. One more round. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. And then we'll come back to neutral and we'll thread the needle, but we're going to start with a flow. And then on the third one, we'll settle it. So inhale the right arm up. And then exhale, threading it under the left, tapping the head down. Next, inhale, lift back up. That right arm floats up to the sky. And then exhale, thread it under, again, tap down. Inhale, lifting it back up. And then exhale, thread it under. This time we'll stay there. Letting that right shoulder come down to the mat. The right side of the face coming to the mat. And then this left hand can stay close in by the face. Or you can reach, walk the fingertips out to the top of the mat, getting that left arm fully extended if that feels good. If not, just bring it back. Staying here for a couple of breaths. The next expression would be to take a bind. If you want to do that, you lift this left arm up. So it's lifted up and fingertips pointing to the sky. Rotate the hand around so that when you bend at the elbow, that arm wraps around the back and the fingertips reach for the top of the right thigh. And if they don't quite make it, just working on that wrap of the arm. Nice. If you took the bind, go ahead and release and bring that hand by the face so that we can push into it. Float that right arm up to the sky, opening the chest, and then exhale the right hand down. Take a breath to find neutral, and then we'll take it on the other side. So inhale, left arm floats up, and thread it under the right, tapping down. Next, inhale, we bring that left arm back up, and we exhale, thread it through, tap down. One more time, inhale, lifting it up, and exhale, this time we stay. Letting that left shoulder surrender, the hips in line with the knees. Starting with that hand in by the face and then maybe working it toward the top of your mat. When it's stretched out like that in full extension, maybe you feel some sensations happening in that armpit. Go. Yeah, nice, Leo. So if you're taking the bind, one of the benefits of the bind is that that right shoulder lifts up. So that's where it makes a difference if you're doing the bind. And then go ahead and release that bind, bring the hand back in close by the face so that you can press into it, get your balance, and lift that arm up. And exhale, lower it down. Let's take our knees wide, Bring the toes to touch, bring your seat back to your heels, settling into a wide-legged child's pose, melting the heart and the forehead down to the mat or a block or 2 blocks. You can bring a block under the belly and under the forehead. So this connection with our breath really felt here in child's pose. Feeling the rib cage expand with each inhale, and then a softening of the abdomen on the exhale. One more breath in and out. Inhale your way back to tabletop, and then we're going to lower to our bellies to come into Sphinx pose. So bring your knees back under your hips, and then turn your elbow creases to face me. Start bending at the elbows and lower the whole upper body at the same time. And then slide your forearms in front of you. Wrap your hands around your elbows to make sure that the elbows aren't flaring out, that you've got the right distance. And then the elbow creases should be in front of the shoulder. And then bring awareness to the tops of your feet, pressing the tops of your feet gently into the mat. Bring awareness up the legs. Bring awareness to the pelvic area and try and tilt the pubic bone toward the mat. Follow that awareness as it goes up the spine, lengthening. Feel that lengthening and let the chest lift. If you feel any clenching in the low back, try and turn your pubic bone toward the mat just a little bit more. If you're on the blanket feels really nice sometimes to have it be positioned under the hip points and the pelvis. The gaze is looking straight ahead, narrowing your focus. Pick a spot to fix your gaze on. One more breath. Really feel the lengthening on your inhale. The belly pressing against the mat on your exhale. And then next exhale, begin to lower down, slide your hands underneath your shoulders, and then start to press yourself back up to tabletop. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees and shins, continue to press back so your low belly may be resting on your thighs, and then straighten your legs, coming into downward facing dog. And take whatever movements feel good here. If you want to drop one heel and bend the other knee to pedal out your downward dog, or if you feel good in stillness, breathe in. Breathe out. Find stillness at some point. Feel that stretch for the hamstrings, for the arms and spine, full extension. And then look between your hands and start to walk your feet up one footprint at a time. And bend the knees a lot, let the head hang and roll up to stand. Lift your shoulders up to your ears, roll them back. Finding Tadasana Mountain Pose. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And as you exhale, think about leading with the heart, diving forward. Think about a pole across your hips that you have to reach over and come into your fold that way. And then bend the knees a lot and roll up to stand. Continue with sweeping arms overhead. And exhale, another dive forward into Uttanasana, forward fold. Bending the knees a lot, rolling up to stand. Sweeping the arms overhead. Let's do some side bends. So interlace your fingers. Index fingers pointing straight up. Maintain that Tadasana stance where you're lengthening down through the tailbone, energetically pressing into the feet. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, side bend to the left. Stretching that right side first. Inhale, center, side bend to the right. Inhale, center, side bend to the left. Inhale, center, to the right. Inhale through center, exhale to the left. Inhale through center, exhale to the right. One more time each side. Inhale through center, exhale to the left. Inhale through center, exhale to the right. And then come back to center. Keep the fingers interlaced. We're going to do a spinal roll. So first, bring the interlaced hands behind your head, cradle your head, draw your elbows back. And stand up nice and tall. On your next inhale, lengthen. And on your exhale, lean back just a little bit. Inhale. And on your exhale, lean back a little further. Inhale. Exhale, lean back a little further. Next inhale, come back upright. Draw the elbows in and exhale, chin to chest. Inhale and exhale, lower a little bit. Inhale, we're lowering on each exhale just a little bit at a time, rounding down. So keep inhaling and exhaling. We've got 3 more to get ourselves down to our fold. You can soften the knees at any time. 2 more breaths until you feel the belly coming down onto the thighs, bending the knees, and try and bring your forehead to your knees. Hug the elbows in. Next inhale, take the elbows out wide and come up halfway. Exhale the breath out. Inhale to upright. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, arch back to that point that's comfortable for you. And inhale back upright. Let the arms drop down to Tadasana. Bring one hand over your heart, one hand to your belly. Soften the gaze or close your eyes. And beginning a 3-part yogic breath. So empty your breath out. Inhale a third into the low belly. The next third into the rib cage. The next third to the chest, collarbones. And exhale a third. A third, and a third. Inhale a third, and a third. Exhale a third, and a third. One more round. Inhale a third, and a third. Exhale a third, a third. For the eyes open, go ahead and grab your blocks and bring them on either side of your feet. Move the blanket out of the way if you're using it. Lift up to flat back. Straightening the legs, reaching the crown of the head forward, draw the belly in, and then exhale, hands to blocks, bend the knees. Take the right leg back for low lunge. Full breath in. On your exhale, exhale, drop the right knee down, uncurl your toes, and then inhale, sweeping the arms forward and up. So you're stacking shoulders over your hips. Lengthen through the low back. So your right hip flexor is moving forward a little bit. Your right thigh is moving forward as you lengthen the tailbone down. And now we'll add a twist. Hands to heart center, twisting to the left. And lean the body forward. See if you can hook your right elbow with the left knee and press the palms together. Option to tuck your right toes under and lift that right knee off the mat, lengthening that right leg, maintaining stability. And then exhale that knee down if you lifted it, hands coming to heart center and floating them up by the ears. And then sweeping them behind the back. Let the knuckles draw toward the earth as you draw the shoulder blades toward each other and down the back. Opening across the heart space. Breathing in passion and joy. Inhale the arms up by the ears again, and then down the blocks. Tuck your right toes under and lift that knee off. Keep your right hand on the block. Inhale, left arm up into the twist. Breathe in. The right hand stays on the block and then lift your left. There you go, yeah. And exhale that left hand down to the block. Step your left foot back, finding side plank with the support of the blocks. And then bring this right foot forward in between the blocks, coming into low lunge on the other side. Next, exhale, drop the left knee down, uncurl the toe, and then sweeping the arms forward to lift up into Anjaneyasana. Steadying yourself here by really imagining your hips drawing toward the midline. As you lengthen through the low back, feel the sensations here in this left thigh, left hip flexor. Hands to heart center, twisting to the right. Lean forward to hook that elbow with the right knee. Press palms together. Breathe in. Maybe tuck the left toes under if you did it on the other side to lift that leg. And then lowering it back down, hands to heart center. Reach the arms up and then sweep the hands behind your back. See if you can put the opposite pinky on top. Drawing shoulder blades toward each other and down the back. Inhale the arms up by the ears. Float them down to the blocks. Tuck the left toes under. We lift to low lunge. Keep the left hand on the block as you lift your right arm, opening up into a twist. Soften the shoulders, soften in the neck. And then exhale, right hand down, and then put the blocks at the lowest height. Still framing that right foot, and step your right foot back. So you've got plank with the blocks a little bit lower. And now shift into downward dog with your blocks supporting you here. So you can find a little bit more extension. Maybe the heels drop down toward the earth more easily. Find a neutral place for your head to be in between your arms. So try not to overly exert lifting your head, just let it be an extension of your spine. One more breath in and out, and then lift your gaze, look between the blocks, and either a light hop forward, you might find that it's more doable because you've got the blocks, or just walk your feet up. And see if you can land as lightly as possible. Inhale, half lift. Put the arms out to the sides and then bend your knees, lift the upper body. Put the arms overhead. Closing that series by bringing your hands to heart center and then Tadasana. And take a few moments here in Tadasana. We were just upside down for a length of time. So we want just to feel the sensations of the fluids draining down in the other direction. And just feel all those sensations. Feeling it maybe in the head or in the feet. Maybe feeling a little swaying, a little movement. Just sensing the whole body recalibrating now after being upside down. Bring awareness to your mind. See if there's been any shift in perception or mindset. One more breath in and out here. And then inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, diving forward. Hands to blocks, bend the knees. Slowly lower yourself down to a seat. And take the legs out in front of you. So we're going to do a series of forward folds. Move the flesh away from your sits bones. If you have a blanket and want to prop your hips up, that might make the forward folds a little bit easier for you. You can always fold it like this and then like that to make a little shelf. Or Leah, you might want to sit on a block for these. And then we're going to start with separating our legs a little bit. Again, rocking the flesh away from the sits bones and sitting up nice and tall. Have your knees and your toes facing up. And then inhale, arms, reach them up. And just a micro hinging forward. So try and keep the spine long and just see if you can hinge forward. So maintain that length and just hinge forward. And take an inhale. On your exhale, maybe hinge forward just a little bit more. Lengthening up through the spine. The hands can come down at that point where you know that you're not going to hinge any further. And then soften the gaze or close the eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. And Leo, you could actually do these on your back if you want to. If that's just too uncomfortable, come onto your back, lift the legs, and opening. You can do all these forward folds on your back if that's more comfortable for you. And then inhale to lift up. And then we're going to bring our left heel in, bending that knee. Inhale the arms up, and then turn the body so that your chest is facing that right leg. Right knee, right toes pointing up, and then start to hinge over that leg. Bringing the hands down at whatever point you feel like you're losing the hinging action and that you're just rounding and coming into the fold without a long spine. One more full breath in and out. Inhale to lift up and re-straighten that left leg, and then draw your right heel in, keeping left knee, left toes pointing up. Inhale the arms up, and then turn your chest to face that extended leg. And then again, starting that hinging action. You can always use blocks under the hands if you need to have the earth be lifted. And feeling the stretch in that back right side. And inhale to lift up, and then draw your left sole of the foot in to meet the right. So we're coming into Baddha Konasana. Interlace the fingers, if you can, around the feet. Otherwise, you can also grab a hold of your calves. So Leah, you might want to wrap your hands here and then use your elbows, yeah, like that, to try and then lift your chest, yeah. And first lifting the chest, grow the spine tall. And then start to hinge a little bit at a time. Maintaining that length in your spine, maintaining the chest, lifting up, rolling the shoulders back. Tuning into your breath, following your inhales and your exhales. As you inhale, almost like a balloon is helping to lift the upper body out of its seat. Feel the rib cage expand. And then inhale to lift up. Extend the legs straight out in front of you. And flexing the feet, push your big toes away from you. Draw your little toes towards you. Inhale the arms up. Same action, hinging forward, so a little bit at a time. And again, at the point that you know you're not going to go any further, hands drop down. Try and soften any clenching in the thighs. Feel that hinging action of the hips. One more breath in. And inhale to lift up. So we'll take a mini Shavasana before we come into meditation. So go ahead and come onto your back, and maybe my suggestion would be constructive rest, where we have our feet on the mat. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Keeping the knees bent, feet grounded, and then let the thighs and the knees fall together, and bring your hands to your belly, making a diamond shape surrounding the navel so that your palms are feeling really the fullness of the abdomen. And then moving into this rest pose, this short rest pose with our 3-part yogic breath. So emptying the breath out. And then on your next inhale, inhale a third into the low belly. The next third into the rib cage. And the next third up to the collarbones. And then exhaling a third, and a third. Inhale a third, and a third. Exhale a third, and a third. Inhale a third, a third, a third. Exhale a third, a third. Third. 2 more rounds at your own pace, your own count. See if you can stay focused on doing it on your own. Then release any control over the breath. Just let it come to the natural rhythm of your breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. By tuning into our breath, by creating an opportunity for us to narrow our focus. It helps to stimulate the vagus nerve, the longest nerve that runs up and down our spine, that controls and regulates our nervous system. Allowing this vagus nerve to be in control now. Switch off our sympathetic nervous system and move into releasing any control. Allowing our parasympathetic nervous system to take over. Start to wiggle the fingers a little bit, separate the legs, heel toe your feet in a little closer, hug the knees into your chest so that you can then roll to your right side. Take a couple breaths here on your right side. And leaning the chest in toward the floor so that you can press into your left hand and then your right arm, right hand. Finding your way up to a seat and then setting up for your meditation. So I'm going to join Rose. Hero's pose, supported. You would place a block in between the ankles and maybe double that up. Taking any pressure off the knees. If you want to have your blanket be there to support underneath the knees or the tops of the feet. I'll give you a few moments to set up for your meditation. Once you have found your seat, settling in, closing the eyes once again, or softening them. Again, with this theme of open awareness. So we'll begin by being aware of our breath. Notice if the tongue is glued to the top of the roof of the mouth. And see if we can let it soften and just be still inside the mouth. Being aware of any external noises or smells. Being aware of which body parts are in contact with the mat, with the blocks, blanket, anything that's helping to support your seat. Notice. Be aware of your body meeting the external forces. I'll give you a minute or two to just keep exploring those senses. So noticing if the mind has been able to settle down just by focusing on those senses, on the breath. And now begin to notice anything that starts coming up for you and bring awareness to it by labeling it. So if it's something that you're planning, label it as planning. If it's boredom, label it as boredom. If there's an itch, label it as an itch. When you get distracted, which you will, come back to labeling your thoughts, no matter how many times. Whatever comes up, it's all good. I heard a quote recently, the mind has no pride. It can be pretty embarrassing where the mind goes. It's all good. We can't shut off the mind. We can only practice controlling it through meditation. So just continue to be aware of anything that comes up. And label it. You notice the gaps that start to happen in between thoughts. Or maybe those gaps start to get longer. No matter how many times you get distracted, just come back to focusing. Whatever works for you to focus, if it's on breath or that continuing to label the thoughts, or if you want to repeat some naturally let go. Another quote I heard, waking up from the distraction is evidence that you are meditating. It's just for a nanosecond. Start to deepen your breath, bringing yourself back to a more awakened state. Inhale through the nose. Sigh it out. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Take a moment to thank yourself, bowing the head toward the heart. Thank yourself for taking time out of your day to explore this practice. Maybe a little bit at a time, understanding the power behind it. Maybe noticing that you can tap these feelings that you feel during meditation at points in your life where you're feeling triggered or feeling anger or sadness, and bringing yourself into the state where you know that you're connecting with what's inside. The light in these seas and ours, the light in each of you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
And conquer the world now. Thanks, Eileen. Feels good.
Thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful day, rest of your day. This weather's so nice.
You too. It's a hot one.
Oh, you think so? Oh, I didn't think it felt too bad. Definitely warmer than the past couple days.
Lower humidity.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, all right. I found this podcast that I've been listening to since Sunday, I guess. Yeah, Sunday. Through Amazon called 10% Happier. Have you heard of it? Guy by the name of Dan Harris, as he calls himself, a washed up journalist. And I guess he used to co-anchor Frontline,
Oh, really?
NBC, and he had a panic attack one time, like visibly on air during Women's broadcast.
Oh my God, I'm reading the novel where that happened to a journalist. It's a woman journalist. Same. She had a panic attack.
Maybe she needs to like,
She was there covering her quake.
wow.
That's hilarious.
Well, and so he had it on air and then he ended up pursuing what he often rejected, meditation. So he wrote a book and it's celebrating 10 years this year called 10% Happier. So now out of that has come a podcast. And anyway, but I listened to, he interviewed Deepak Chopra, and I'm listening to the interview right now with Pema Chodron. Another guy by the name of Michael Gervais, who has done research in the fear of people's opinions and how they affect you. That was a really good interview. Anyway, it's just been, I'm like totally diving in, but he also has meditations through his podcast. So, yeah, 10%. That's through, I do everything through Amazon Prime. So it's through Amazon Prime. Yeah. Thanks, Leo. Looking good. Oh yeah, did you guys sign in? I think only Leo signed it. I have to write the name of the class.
I got here and I was gonna write the name of the class and everything. Yeah. I got distracted. I was here. I was a little distracted.
I was too, I just did it. You got so relaxed, you forgot.
Well, how did that work for you guys today with focusing on just being aware? And then I just learned, actually, I learned it, I stole it from Dan. The labeling of thoughts. I was like, that's pretty interesting. I'm going to try that with the group today. So,
Well, you know, I go for chill. I like the movement too, because it just stretches.
yeah. Well, of course, the goal being to be able to get you to a point where you can then comfortably sit still.
Yeah. I'm comfortably still, and I'm not moving.
Well, I guess I'm really good at that. Almost on in the couch potato range. I was thinking about you, Nancy, earlier today. I'm gonna send you a song.
Okay.
It's got like a long, long story behind it, but I think.
You're so welcome. Bye, ladies. See you next week.